Go! I've had enough. Here's the deal. All right? They're putting stuff in the water. Okay? They're putting all sorts of lead toxins in the water. Get some iodine tablets. Listen, the Mormons own Hollywood. Okay? And I'm sick and tired of it. Okay? The Arabs, they're coming. And you don't think they're into car washes? I'll tell you what, they are into car washes. Okay, everybody, I'm sick. I'm sick of it. Okay, damn. The globalists, the federalists. When's my wife going to come in here and tell me to stop yelling? I don't think it's ever going to happen. Guys, just kidding. Guys, just kidding. It's not Alex Jones, okay? It's Stephen Elgin and the Stephen Internet Show. That was horrible. I apologize to all four of you. Oh, Joe Parisi in the house tonight. Hey, baby. I went tieless tonight because I'm kind of feeling pretty good. I feel like a Court Van Ostrin right now. He won his election. I went to his office. Coincidence? I think not. Court Van Ostrin. He's a senator or something. You guys hear me all right? I had to turn this down because I was screaming earlier. I was screaming into the microphone. I apologize. Oh, hi, Joe. That guy, Joe, has a great podcast about Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Angie Reichert Kessler is here. Chris Denman is here. What up? Missy Bliss, Zachary Taylor. Hello, sir. Brian Kessler. Good to see him. Thanks for turning it up. I'll turn it up. I'll turn the volume up all day long. I was screaming. Sorry. Hey, Keith Yavorsky, Matt Reeser. Hey, guys, don't really have a lot of topics tonight. Was having a deep conversation with my wife earlier about how we're messing up our children. No, you can't always prepare for the show every night, okay? I do hours of preparation most nights. I do hours. So tonight, I learned a little bit about myself. I'm a better person for it, and I'm okay with it, okay? I was going to do the Alex Jones shtick for a lot longer, but I realized I can't be screaming in the house to sleeping children right in that direction. I'm just chill right now, guys. Feeling real chill. Zachary Taylor. Mary Jo Reichert. What's up, Mary Jo? So good that you're here. Thank you for joining us tonight. Thank you. The notch lapel looks swell. I do look pretty good. It's this hair. I like the hair. It's become a part of me. My son calls it my toupee, probably because I wear it everywhere. Guys, don't have much going tonight, but here's what I will tell you. I'm going to give you the full storyline of Pee-wee's Big Adventure, okay? Because Joe Parisi did an awesome podcast about it, the Odd Podcast. Check it out. So go ahead and turn this off. I owe this to the sponsors to fill at least 20 minutes of time, airtime at night in between the 10 and 11 o'clock central hour. So that's what I'm going to do here tonight. Sorry, you don't always bring your A game. And the producers are on my ass. Well, guess what? I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to give you the plot to Pee-wee's Big Adventure. So if you guys have seen it, turn it off. If you guys don't want to hear this story, turn it off. It's Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Okay. It opens up, and Pee-wee's got this, he's sleeping, okay? And the alarm goes off, and he's got like all these mechanisms to help him get out of bed. And it's like a big, it's like it's against a train, and it goes along a little bit, and then it hits this other, like a little monkey, and he starts clapping cymbals. And then they go into it, and it wakes him up. It pulls his sheets down real fast. It's just like a blinds. Like when you pull the blinds, it pulls them down, up. So I did that. And he gets out of bed, and I remember he lifts this weight, like a real little weight. He's like, oh yeah, it was so funny. It killed me. I think he puts on a Godzilla mask, and he's like, oh, Godzilla. No, he shoots it with a gun, and then he knocks it over, and then he plays with these little trucks. What a weirdo. He plays with like these fire trucks for a minute, okay? And then I believe he slides down the banister and he's fully dressed. And then he goes to make breakfast. And this is Mousetrap. Anyone ever play Mousetrap? Mousetrap's one of the greatest games of all time. I used to just set up the maze and fuck the game, man. Fuck it. Fuck the game, baby. Fuck the game, son. So then he would put a little pterodactyl, a bony pterodactyl would fly and drop 2 pieces of toast into a toaster. He would toast those, and then he made eggs, and a little bird would come and crack the eggs and break them, and he made eggs, I think, in a smiley face. And the music's great. It's a great score. Okay. Tim Burton directed the movie. Joe might be able to tell us some more facts on the movie. He's probably filled with facts. Go ahead and pop those facts in the comment. You're not doing anything else, Joe. Come on. You're watching a guy fucking, I don't know if you're still here, but you're watching a guy explain a movie. People, reevaluate shit. So then he makes his breakfast, but it's great because he's got a really big, oversized fork and butter knife, and the butter knife is really flimsy. I remember being like, why is that butter knife so flimsy? And he takes a little dab of butter. And he puts and he's like, oh, hey, Mr. Pee-wee, I sure hope you don't eat me. You look delicious. And he's like getting ready to eat it. And he's like, I want some Mr. T cereal. And then he grabs the cereal box and he's like, I pity the poor fool who don't eat this cereal. And he starts dumping it on his pancake eggs and bacon face. And he dumps it on there, and then he takes the fork and he grabs just a few of the things and goes, oh, and his dog, what's his fucking dog's name? Spunky. And because he has a huge dog bowl and a bunch of food. Pee-wee's big into wasting food. Okay, he wasted the whole meal. He eats a little bit of the cereal, dabs, and leaves it. Okay, maybe that dog. What's the dog's name on Pee-wee? Gotta go. Good night, Bay. Matt, you don't have to say good night, okay? Like, fire trucks are cool. Fire trucks are cool. Danny Elfman did the score. He also did the Simpsons theme and was the lead singer of Oingo Boingo. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Alex Jones. You know what? The Christians are coming to get us. Jenna Kral, what's up? Okay, so he goes and then he goes to his bike, okay, and he walks around to the side of his house. And actually, I think maybe before he gets his bike, his front yard is filled with shit, just absolutely filled with shit to the brim. Cows, and there's a big octopus that's a sprinkler. And so he tells his neighbor, he's like, hey, Mr. Mole Man, or God, what's his name? He's like, hey, Pee-wee. He's like, I'm getting ready to turn on the sprinkler. And he's like, okay. And so he goes over and he's like, and he's running away. And the guy barely gets his goddamn window shut before those things are flying water on his house. Okay, it's terrible. Pee-wee could have waited just like a second longer, okay? Like, come on, Pee-wee, don't be an asshole. So he does that, and then he goes and gets his bike. And he pulls a little branch on a fern, like it looks like a flowering dogwood now that I think about it. And he pulls it and it lifts up this hedge, I guess it's in his backyard, and just rolls this hedge up. And there's his bike, and it's playing this great music by Jenna Elfman's brother, Danny Elfman. And he sees his bike and he's rubbing it and like, and I remember he's going down like, and I remember thinking that bike is the most badass thing of all time. Not really, but it was still pretty tight. It looked heavy. I think it would have been too heavy, and I like the jump ramps and stuff. Joe Parisi, Andre the Giant was asked to be in the film, but wanted $50,000 per week. This is the best. This is the best ever. Speck. What's his name? Speck. I think it was Speck. Ryan Kelly's in the house. This guy's climbing. He's in the middle of climbing a mountain for charity, and he's tuned in. This is he gets it. Okay, guys. He's up saving children's lives, literally, not even fucking, no bullshit at this point. And he's tuning in to the Steven Internet Show, Alex Jones edition. You missed the Alex Jones stuff. It was great. Let me just tell you. So anyway, and if you're catching it right now, if you're just tuning us, I'm about 14 minutes into Pee-wee's Big Adventure. And that's kind of what I'm going to do, to sail through this next. I got to fill about 18 more minutes. So the sponsors are good to go. All right. So he gets his bike and then he gets it out and he starts riding it. Okay. And he's riding through town and he's actually walking it before that. And he sees Francis, who's one of the greatest characters of all time. Okay. Francis. And he's like, hey, Pee-wee. And Pee-wee starts doing the, I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? I know you are, but what am I? And I remember being like, oh, that's good. That's good stuff. You can't come back from that. You're not going to come back from that. I know you are. And he's like, I wouldn't. He's like, it's my birthday. And Pee-wee's like, oh, what is your dad going to get you? Something for a fat kid or something? And he's like, no, he said I could have whatever I want. And this is like almost they're both grown men. I think they're both grown men at this point. And he's like, my dad says I can have whatever I want. And so he did. And Pee-wee's like, oh, okay, what do you want? And he's like, I want your bike. And Pee-wee literally falls to the ground laughing. He's like, falls to the ground laughing. Okay. And he's kicking his feet. And he's like, what's so funny? And he's like, I wouldn't sell my bike for all the money in the world, Francis. And he's like, oh, that's just crazy. And as Pee-wee like rides away and Francis yells something at him like, I'll have one day, Pee-wee. What does he say? Joe might know what he says. He yells, don't mock me. Don't mock me, Pee-wee. He says something very violent into the camera, like into the distant shot as Pee-wee's walking away. So Pee-wee leaves. Tom Newport, DW, Jordan Kamey, Dave Driscoll. I'm about 30 minutes into Pee-wee's Big Adventure right now. So he's cruising and he's going down through the park and he sees these guys doing tricks and these guys are doing wheelies. And I didn't understand because me and my friends did BMX bike stuff and we were poor city heathens and we didn't have all this gear. Like what was up with like the bike teams that hung out at the shop with, oh no, Dottie. What? Dottie, yay, nay, guys in the room, chicks in the room, Dottie, yay, nay. I didn't like her then. I think if I may revisit the movie now, might be a different story. I'm a freak. I'm happily married though, so Dottie would have to, seduce my wife and seduce both of us. So Dottie, if you're out there watching, I think no, she's not here. But she's probably like 60 now. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So then he starts doing these tricks or whatever, and then he tries to lean forward on his bike. He's leaning forward. He's like, ah, and he gets kind of like excited, scared, and he rolls and he hits this thing, and there's a gang of bike kids in the front yard. What town does he live in? Somewhere in California. It has to be California. Joe, California? I love having Joe here. Please stay with me the whole time, Joe. I'll speed this up because I'm not doing good time management. I'm doing Steve Spagnuolo like time management, clock management right now. So he falls and he flips over and he brushes himself off and he's like, you know how the movie starts? I apologize. The movie starts with him dreaming about the Tour de France. No one caught that? No one caught that? He dreams about winning the Tour de France with all these guys in really like speed helmets, and he's just blowing by them on his bike. That's what he's dreaming about, winning the Tour de France. It's like on a street. There's like 8 people there. Like people are holding baguettes and shit. So that's how the movie starts. I'm going to go ahead and recap everything from the beginning. Okay, so he gets up. Then he gets up. Okay, and then This machine, it's like I'm just kidding, okay? So now he falls in front of those kids and he's like, I meant to do that, and gets on his bike and goes to the shop. He goes to a shopping center, and this is one of the things you'll notice in this movie where he's pulling a chain out to lock his bike up. He's pulling this chain out, and if you notice, you can see the chain coming up from the bottom underneath. So it's a limitless chain. He's pulling the chain up from the bottom. They make it seem like it's coming from this wheel well. It's not coming from the wheel well at all. It's coming from this underneath. It's one long chain. That's how they do that stuff. So he does that, and he puts his bike around this clown. So then he goes to a magic shop, and he's having fun with and he buys fake gum. And the guy's like, you want to buy a shrunken head, or what about a really big head? And the guy at the magic shop is a straight weirdo, okay? He's like, morning, Pee-wee. Everybody knows everybody. I used to love the town that he lived in. Like, where does he live in? Joe Parisi, you'll be sorry. You'll be sorry, Pee-wee Herman. Oh, my God. This is the best night of my life. This is the best night of my life. You'll be sorry, Pee-wee Herman. Holy shit. Filmed in Pasadena, Santa Monica quite a bit. It had, hey, Mom. My mom says hello. Where's Jenny? You want me to bring Jenny on for a second? Dave Driscoll, Mick Dickus. Okay, I'm going to get Jenny. Guys, wait for a second. Jenny, you want to come on? I'm just explaining Pee-wee Adventure. The entire movie. How much time do you have left? Jenny's doing a little downward dog right now. I tried to get her to come on, but she said maybe after yoga. So if I got 14 minutes left to wrap this thing. God, this is not good time management, clock management. So anyway, Jen's got to come and save the show. I was going to tell her, I was like, I'll just explain the movie to you. And she's like, what are you doing? You're just explaining a movie? And I'm like, yeah, okay. I'm struggling. So he goes to the bike shop, and that's where, then after the magic shop, he goes to the bike shop with Dottie, and Dottie's into him. It always is like, why? Why is Dottie into him? And he's like, I'm a loner, Dottie, a rebel. Like, you can't handle me and you. Never work between you and me. I'm a loner, Dottie, a rebel. I've used that line a million times, and by a million I mean like maybe I did it once as a joke, one time, maybe twice. So he tells her, and he buys a horn. The horn was there. I think he pre-ordered it and picked it up there. So he picked up his horn, and he goes out and he sees the bike link, the chain links cut, and they're in pieces, and it's like the world is spinning, and now the clown that he had attached it to before, it has like a super angry weird face. There's a weird thing with clowns in it. Joe knows all about the clowns. He couldn't even track the clowns down. The clowns don't exist from that movie. And Joe, I don't know if you heard, but old George Christie has Pee-wee's bike. Shut up. I'm not supposed to tell. So, and now it's like, crazy. And Pee-wee gets all scared. Okay, so Pee-wee's all scared, and then he goes back into the bike shop, and he goes and he blows the horn, and he's like, ee! And this thing's like, meh! This is the horn he was gonna get for his bike, and he's like, no, and yells, and he lands, and he knocks all the bikes over. He does that twice? Wait, does he pass out? Maybe I'm thinking of the biker scene. So then they wake him up, okay, and he's obsessed, and he's like, I need to find my bike. So he puts together a town meeting in a basement somewhere, in his basement maybe. He gets like all the townspeople, and I had this movie on VHS, and I recorded it during a storm, so I have missed good swaths of the movie due to storm break-ins. So I'm just going to preface that now, because I feel like there was something else that happened in between there. It was probably shortened for TV. So I'm living off that right now from my childhood. But he ends up getting all the townspeople in his basement somehow, some way. Like the guy who owns the bike shop, I think the guy who owns the magician plays Dottie, the bicycle, the BMX crew, he has all of them down there. And he's like, He's telling them all to shut up. He's like a maniac. He's a straight maniac. Now, Paul Rubens has got chops, man, because he gets all these people down in the basement. It's dark, it's dingy, and he's got maybe like Exhibit A. And he goes on, and they're like, Pee-wee. And he's like, okay, I only have I think he's like Exhibit Z or something. He's like way further. And they're like, Pee-wee, how much longer is this going to go? And he's like, supposed to mean something was supposed to mean. That's what I'm channeling right now. And then he's like, it's like a ball of yarn something. And then he's like, and keep knitting and knitting and knitting. And then they're like, Pee-wee, snap out of it. And then he goes manic. He goes like in a manic depressive state. And then he's walking the streets, and it's like meow 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 meow. So the music's intense, okay? Joe Parisi, Mario hung up on me twice, dude. This is so good, Joe. Yay, Jenny. Jenny's not coming. Sorry, I went to go get her. She's not. Everyone wants you to come on here for just a minute. I don't make bunkies. I just trade them. Brian gets it too. Large. Oh, we're not to Large Marge yet. Please, no spoilers, Angie. Please, 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 please. Wasn't that a Get Up Kids song? I don't know what that is. Justin Van Matra is in here. Justin Van Matra? Oh my goodness. Angie says, what face? Clown face. Yes, bad. Hearty face, smoochy face, shitty face from Justin. Oh, guys, we got a special appearance in the house. Hey, girl. Yay. I'm going to turn your mic on. Testing. All right, we're here. Test. Can you guys hear? Go ahead and say something.
I have nothing good to say.
Say it. Just keep testing the mic.
I don't know. I'm not going to keep testing.
Well, I got to check these levels. Do you see that thing?
No.
Just keep talking. Check these levels. All right, guys, it's the Steve and Jenny show. 1 minute. I'm gonna get her one of these times, guys. Oh, what? See, I didn't get any of these hearts. This is nothing.
Thanks,
this is ridiculous. I was doing a very excellent job explaining Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I'm right to the part. Amazing Larry. Joe Parisi knows all the facts about this movie, and I'm like leaving stuff out, and he is blasted. No, we're not to Large Marge. I'm at 22 minutes, and I'm only at about like minute probably 45 of this movie.
Hope you guys
I'm
have
not
all
doing
night long,
I'm not doing good time management. Sounds like a Tidy Cat commercial. No, Jen, I'm leaving. No, Jen, I'm leaving, said Kevin Miller. McDiggis says yes. DW says hello, Jen A.
Hi, guys.
All right, so I'm right at the part where he just lost his bike, okay? And he went and had like that weird town hall meeting in the basement. Yeah, okay, I'm past all that. Oh my God, I apologize, guys. I apologize. And so then he has the town meeting, and then he's out in the streets, remember? And he's walking around in the rain, remember? And there's a big shadow of him on the wall as he's going through the rain. And those guys come up, which actually I think on Joe Parisi's podcast, The Odd Podcast, I heard that it's Tim Burton, one of the guys who runs up to him, and he's like, "We don't take kindly to strangers."
Oh, no.
You remember that? Yeah, good. You remember when he did that? He's like, "We don't take kindly to strangers." Yes. And what does Pee-wee do?
I don't remember.
He hisses at them. He scares them away by hissing. He goes,
"Oh yeah."
And they're like, "Yeah, get out of here!" And they all run away from him. I remember being like, "That works." Like if 3 angry felons come at you in downtown St. Louis after like a late night of drinking, and you're like, "Oh, I just," and they're like, "Give me your money, pal," and you're like, "Ah, yes, dude," I would run away in terror. So he hissed at him, and then he starts walking, and he sees the psychic. What's the psychic's name? Come on, help me out.
I haven't seen this movie since I was probably 10,
Joe knows.
So I don't know.
Joe knows. Missy Bliss. Hey there, hottie yoga mama.
Oh, I just
show them
my yoga on.
Show them their your favorite pose.
There's not enough room in here.
Show him that pose that I was liking the other day. Show him that pose.
No, just come on.
Okay. Everyone loves Large Marge. This is Rachel, and you guys are adorable.
We're not wanting to kill each other.
Anyway, everybody has their ups and downs. Jen for president.
Who said that?
Brian Kessler.
Hi, Brian.
That's
Thank you.
It's wrong. You know nothing, Jen Snow. I don't know what that means. Madam Ruby. Madam Ruby. Yes, God. Same storefront was used in Karate Kid 2. Oh my God. Me Cat Cow. Me Cat Cow? What is Angie saying?
She's saying yoga poses.
Oh, that's a yoga pose? Me Cat Cow?
It's something like that.
Me Cat Cow. Thought she was, we're talking about Pee Wee. Okay, so then he sees Madam Ruby and he goes in and she's like, how much money do you have? And I remember him being like a child. He's like, with like change and wet money. And she's like, yeah, this is enough. And then she's like, ooh. And I remember she puts it on her nail and she's like, I see your bicycle. And he's like, you do? He's so excited, dude. And she, oh wait, I skipped that part where he went.
What's that guy's name?
Francis. He went and threatened him. He went manic and went and threatened Francis in that huge bathtub.
Yes.
He knocks on the door and he goes,
Doesn't he have like a snorkel on and stuff? Doesn't Francis?
no, Francis is in that huge bathtub. He might have a snorkel on.
I think he does.
Yeah, and he has that old huge Asian butler who's like a big muscular guy.
Yes.
And Pee Wee he bought a door knocker at that magic place that he could put on the door and it would be like ting, 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 ting. So then the guy opened the door and you see Pee Wee running. Sorry, we're backtracking just a minute here. This is before the scene where he hisses right after he loses his bike. Thank you for bringing this up. This is why she's here. So then he gets in the room with Francis, and Francis like gets out of the tub and he just like slides. I remember him being like, how is he sliding so far? Francis is playing with battleships in there.
That's when he's
He's got those battleships and he's like, and he's eating the guys and he's like, Pee Wee, what are you doing in here? Then Pee Wee almost drowns him.
Yeah, he tried.
Pee Wee almost drowns him to death.
But that's the one that has his bike, right?
Well, not at that point. He didn't know. And let's not. Jen.
You're gonna really tell this whole movie.
I only have 3 minutes left to tell the rest of it.
Where are you going?
We'll have part two.
Version.
We'll have part 2 tomorrow. No, I'm not going to give away. This movie, it needs to be done a service to.
You need to go to the large Marge part.
No, we'll get to that. Okay. Jesus, everybody wants to
That
just
was my
immediately.
favorite part.
Everybody wants to skip ahead to the large Marge. Scared the crap
when
out of
I
me.
was younger.
Yeah,
but
that part and
that part's second.
and when he puts on those glasses in the dark and all those animals are there, he puts on his night vision goggles. When he loses his car and he's with that felon who tore the thing. Come on now. Okay. So we'll wrap it up with this. He goes into that bathroom and the dad comes in, remember, and he's like, what's going on? And he's like, I hope you don't press charges, Mr. Prescott. Francis, what was Francis's last name? And he's like, oh, I think we'll be okay. And Francis is like, well, you don't have to. And remember, he gives him that gum, and the dad's like, nah! And Francis just had black, and he's just like, I didn't steal his bike, Dad. He's got black goo. He's got black goo. Like, you wouldn't know that. Like, you wouldn't know. And then he goes to Madam Ruby, and Madam Ruby tells him it's in the Alamo, in the basement. And he's like, thank you, Madam Ruby. And that's when he starts his journey to find his bike in the basement of the Alamo. Part 2, maybe not tomorrow because I have the show, so I might have to do a Facebook Live before the show or after the show. But yeah, Jen, thanks for joining me.
No problem.
Everybody likes when Jen.
guys.
Everybody likes when Jen joins. I don't know how I feel about that. Joe, you are the tits. Joe is the tits, man. He's got the Odd Podcast. Download it. It's freaking awesome.
Angie, I'm not doing yoga on here, okay? You should come over and do yoga though.
Do it in the bathtub. She's saying do it in the bathtub. Stay on till 11. Show at Club Kessler sometime. Oh,
Yeah.
yes. I can bring all. No. Yeah, I can bring all the equipment.
Yeah.
I can bring all the equipment.
They have a computer.
Buxton. Remember that's what that guy tells him? And then you find out that he does have his bike because that one guy who's like a greaser, who's like, I stole that bike for you, fatty.
Oh, yeah.
And he's sitting in that chair that has a big tiger over it. Francis is. And he's like, I don't even want the bike anymore. Just get it out of here. He's crazy. He's crazy about it.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Did you watch this last night or something?
No, I haven't seen it in years. It was like I had nothing on the show. I was like, I don't know what I'm talking about. And then Joe popped on, and I was like, he knows that movie. I know that movie. He's been amazing. He's been with me this whole time, and it's doing pretty good. I may rewatch it just so I can tell a better story to finish it. But I think it's kind of funny that I can't remember all of it. All right, guys. Thanks for everything.
Bye,
We love you
guys.
guys. Love you, FaZe. I do this and then peace sign. But you gotta do it like this so I can see it. All right, we'll try it one more time. No, don't ever dab on this show.
Oliver did.
Okay.
Night.
These heathens every night with these people.